Hello everyone. So you are watching Code with Shubhajit and let's get started with our problem. So today we have taken a very simple problem which is min and max in an array. So what does the problem say? Let's understand that. Okay. So here we have an array, let's say this, right? And we want to find the minimum and the maximum element in that array and we have to return that in the form of a pair as you can see here. Okay. So let me explain you with this in one note. So let's say we have an array which is 2, 7, 3, 12 and 4. Okay, so you can just say by viewing over it that the maximum element is 12 and the minimum element is 2. Okay, so this is the minimum element, this is the maximum element. Okay, just by viewing. But if you want to write a program for that and you want to optimally write a program for that, then what should be the approach? uh, if I say you the brute force approach, right, what comes to my mind? So min and max element, right? So something kind of sorting is coming to my mind here, right? If we sort this whole array, then whether it be increasing order or decreasing order, let's say we do it in an increasing order, then this array will become something like this, which is 2, 3, 4, 7 and 12, right? So the minimum element is the first element and the maximum element is the last element. That's very simple. Okay, but you all know that sorting takes some extra amount of time, which is for the best case also it's n log n. Okay, for the best case also it is n log n. But let's say if we want to do this problem in big O of n, then how are we gonna solve this? This means that we need a single traversal over the array and we can find that, sorry, we have to do a single traversal of this array and we have to find what is the minimum element and the maximum element. Okay, so let's do it in blue. This is the optimal solution which we will be looking for. So let's take the original array which we have taken, which is not sorted. Okay, here. Now, if you can think of that, we want to find the minimum and the maximum element, and we want to traverse this array once, which will give us a complexity of big O of n. Okay, so we will be having a for loop over it, right? We will be having a for loop over it. We also know that we have to return a pair of two values, which is a minimum value and a maximum value. So let's take the minimum and the maximum both as the initial element of the array. So let's say the minimum and the maximum both has a value of 2 for now. Okay, and I will start the loop from I is equals to 1. I hope you know the indexing. This is 0th index. Let me do it in some other color. Okay, so this is 0 index, this is first index, 2, index 3, index 4. Okay, this is the index of the array. Okay, so what I'm saying is that I will be starting with uh, I is equals to 1 and I will go up till I is equals to the last one, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 4, which is the size of the array minus 1. Size of the array is 5, 5 minus 1. This is 4, right? Okay, so what I'm doing is that I will traverse from I is equals to 1 to I is equals to 4, and I will be at every point I will be comparing the minimum and the maximum element with this ARRI. So what I will be doing here, I will actually have a for loop which will traverse from I is equals to 1 to I is equals to n minus 1, and in that for loop I will check that, okay, is my current minimum element, is it greater than the present ARRI? If that's the case, let's take it as ARR. The name of this array is ARR. If that's the case, then I will update the minimum element to whatever the value is. Same goes for the maximum element. If my maximum element is lesser than what is presently at I, then I will update the maximum element, which is actually happening in this case. 2 is lesser than 7, so max will become 7. Okay. let's actually run over this in the loop. Okay, so initially when I is equals to 1, in that case what will happen? Minimum is 2. Okay, so is 2 is 2 greater than 7? No. So minimum is equals to 2 as it is. Okay, and what is max? Max will be, if you see that max 2 is 2 lesser than 7, we will check the max value lesser and the min value greater. That's how we will understand that if you have to change the value or not. So if max is lesser than 7, 2 is lesser than 7, yes, then we will update the max from 2 to 7. Okay, now we will go for I is equals to 2. In that case, what will happen? The value is 3, right? So the present 2, is it greater than 3? No, it's not greater than 3. Minimum is equals to 2. Max value, is it lesser than 7? Is it 7 is lesser than 3? No, it is not. Then I will not change the value of min and max both. Now I will go to index is equals to 3. What will happen here? At index is equals to 3, the value is 12. So I will check. Is 2 greater than 12? No. Remains unchanged. But is 7 lesser than 12? Yes. Now it will change and the max value will become 12. Okay. Now I will go to I is equals to 4. What will happen in this case? So I is equals to 4, the value is 4, right? So is present minimum value 2? Is it greater than 4? No. So minimum value will be 2. The present max, which is 12, is it lesser than 4? No, it is not. So maximum is 12. So at the end we have min is equals to 2, max is equals to 12, and we will return this as a pair, and that's the answer to that. I hope you understand that. Right, let's code this thing out. Okay, so if we go here, okay, so let me just give this a little space, and yeah. So uh, initially what we can do, we can have two values, the long min value, which is equals to the ARR of 0, and long max value, which is equals to ARR of 1. Okay, now what we will do, we will run a for loop. Okay, one thing I want to mention here is, as the answer is returned in long, right? You can see pair of long long. That's why. And if you see the range as well here, the ARRI range is 10 to the power 12. Okay, but the range of integer is around 2 point something into 10 to the power 9, what I can remember. But it's definitely not up to 10 to the power 12. So for this, we have to take long values. So for that, what we have to do, we have to actually convert it to long before assigning them. Okay, in that way. So now we will run over the loop. I is less than arr dot length. Arr dot length will give the length of the whole array, and I will loop through that. For every element, I will check that if min value is greater than arr of I, in that case, I will make the min value 2. I again have to change it to long before assigning due to the type mismatch. Okay. Same thing I will do for max value as well. What I will do, I will paste it. What it's saying, I will say if max value is lesser than ARRI, in that case I have to change the max value to ARRI. After doing this, my for loop ends. For every element I have done the thing, but you have to make sure that the uh, counter starts from 1, because we have actually stored, okay, here also I have made a mistake, because the counter actually starts, because we have actually initialized ARR 0 as the max and min value both, and whatever comes next will be compared. So from I is equals to 1 we will be comparing, right? Once this is done, I will actually initialize a pair which we have to return in that format only, new pair. And what will be the values? It will be min value and max value, and I will be returning the thing out. Okay, so returning the answer pair with long and long. I hope you are able to understand the solution. I will compile it and run. Let's see what happens. You can see that my output and the expected output are same. You can actually submit it after doing the code on your own. And I hope this is helpful and you're able to understand the explanation as well as the code part. Thanks a lot.